Yo, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy Roy, one half of the Combat Sport Guys, coming back to you with another UFC quick pick video, this time in the form of UFC 313. Alex Pereira defends his light heavyweight title up against the number one contender in Magomed Ankalaev. If you'd like to see our long form video breakdown, it would be linked. It will be linked in the description below. Make sure you tap in, make sure you show some love. In addition, at the conclusion of this video, we will be dropping our bets, our straight bets, our parlays, and our prop bets on X. So make sure you're following us there. That is also linked in the description below. Show some love. Without further ado, let's get into this quick pick video. Kicking off the card, we have a middleweight bout. Ozzy Diaz takes on Jordan Santos. Now, Jordan Santos is an individual who he's well-rounded. He's good everywhere, but he doesn't excel at anything. He has good 1-2s. He fights well in the clinch, and he's going up against an individual in Ozzy Diaz who hasn't quite put it together in the UFC. He last got knocked out by Ming Yang Zhang at UFC Macau. That was at light heavyweight. He's now fighting at middleweight. So if you're going to make the argument that, oh, well, this is his bread and butter, this is where he looks good, you can make that argument. That's fine. But we haven't seen him go past the second round. A lot of his fights finish early. Either he's on the winning end or he's on the losing end. And I think Jordan Santos is going to be able to drag this fight out, going to be able to get the decision win here. He could probably finish it in the third round, but I think Jordan Santos is going to be victorious. So give me Jordan Santos to win this fight. Next up, we have Chris Gutierrez taking on John Castaneda. This is an interesting fight because John Castaneda was originally supposed to fight at UFC 103 Vegas, but that fight got scrapped due to some weight issues. And Chris Gutierrez was supposed to fight Gene Matsumoto, but Gene Matsumoto got the Rob Font fight. So now they're clashed together. I had originally picked John Castaneda to beat Silvio de Andrade, but this is a different fight. Styles make fights. And I think Chris Gutierrez, with his boxing, his his lateral movement, his ability to be more technical and attack the legs is going to be the differentiating factor here. So I'm going to go with Chris Gutierrez to win this fight. I did get him at dog money. He is going up against an individual in John Castaneda who is a dog. He's relentless. He's going to move forward. It's going to be a great fight. So, but give me Chris Gutierrez to win. Moving on, we have some featherweights. We have Myron Santos taking on Francis Marshall. Now, when you look at Myron Santos, he is an exciting prospect. He's a dynamic striker with knockout power. He has that Muay Thai background. He throws vicious kicks. He throws nice combinations. And he's going up against an individual in Francis Marshall, who is a collegiate Division I level wrestler. He does train at ATT. He does have good training partners in Mosvar, Elboy, Grant Dawson. And if you're on the side of Marshall to, secure takedowns, control him, I'm not mad at that. I'm not arguing that that's not a possibility. But I think Myron, with his ability to have the strike, with his ability to strike and having the striking advantage and the decent enough takedown defense, I think he's going to be able to keep this fight standing. So I'm going to go with Myron Santos to win this fight. I like the leg kicks. I like the combinations. I like the power. I like the youth. I like the excitement that he brings to the table. And if you're judging him based on his performances in the Contender Series or the Ultimate Fighter, well, he's getting better, right? He's developing, he's young, and we're going to see him come to his own. So it's going to be an interesting fight. It's going to be a banger of a fight. I'm excited for this, but I think Myron Santos takes it. Next up, we have a fight in Carlos Leal taking on Alex Morono. Now, we saw Leal in his UFC debut at UFC 308, where he moved forward. He was aggressive. He got in the face. He pushed the pace. He showed great counters up against Fakhretdinov, and a lot of people are in agreement that he was robbed of that victory. It went to the judges' scorecard. He lost a split decision, and then he's going up against an individual in Alex Morono, who has that slick jiu-jitsu, has that Brazilian jiu-jitsu background, that black belt, but he doesn't always use it. He likes to go out there. He likes to put on a show. He likes to engage in the striking, and I think Leal is gonna welcome that, and he's gonna push the pace, be aggressive, get in his face. I think Leal gets it done. The fact that he's a minus 900 favorite is a little crazy. I would be careful putting him in your parlays, but I think he gets it done here. I think he finishes within inside the distance. So I'm going to go with Leal to get this done. Yeah, I like Leal in this fight. Next up, we have some middleweight action. We have Bruno Ferreira taking on Armin Petrosian. Last time out, we saw them both lose. We saw Armin Petrosian lose to that spinning double back fist to Shara Bullet Magomedov. And we also saw Bruno Ferreira lose to Albus Magomedov, where he was having some success in the striking, but ultimately the grappling is what caused his demise. He got caught in a choke and he lost. At the end of the day, this is going to be a striker versus striker. I think Bruno Ferreira has the power. He has the reach advantage. Let me look at the numbers here. He has the reach advantage over 1 inch. He does give up some height, but I think he's going to be able to get in close, throw those nasty hooks, and put Armin Petrosian away. Now, if you're on the Armin Petrosian side, you're going to count on him, being more technical, throwing more volume, chopping the legs, maintaining his distance. And if this fight progresses and he's able to weather the initial storm of Bruno Ferreira, he can have some successes in the later rounds because we have seen Ferreira get tired and get gassed. But I think Ferreira is going to get it done here. I'm going to pick him to win. I'm going to go with Bruno Ferreira to win. I like him as a dog here. So yeah, give me Bruno Ferreira. Next up, we have some flyweight action. Ray Suruya is taking on Joshua Van. Now, Joshua Van, last time out, he went up against Cody Durden. A lot of people were arguing that, oh, how is he going to look against the grappling? How is he going to look against Cody Durden's pressure and taking him down? Cody Durden's going to run through him. He's going to maul him, yada, yada, yada. And what did Joshua Van do? He went out there. He snuffed a lot of the takedowns. He made Cody Durden look desperate. His takedown defense looked well. He kept the fight standing where he excels. He's an elite level boxer, in my opinion. He has good combinations. He throws to the body, finishes at the head, mix in some knees and some leg kicks. I like Joshua Van here. He's going up against Ray Surreal, who we saw in his UFC debut beat Carlos Hernandez via unanimous decision. He has good grappling, but my questions revolving around him are his cardio. He did look tired in that fight. Also, is his striking. His striking isn't quite there yet. It is competent enough to level change and secure takedowns, but it's not there to bang with the best of them. And I think that's where Joshua Van's going to excel. He's going to be able to snuff a lot of the takedowns, keep the fight standing, and piece him up. So give me Joshua Van to win this fight. I like Joshua Van here. I think he's an exciting prospect. And we'll move on to our next fight, our featured prelim in Curtis Blades taking on Rizvan Kuniev. Now, Curtis Blades is coming off that title shot. He got knocked out by Tom Aspinall. We can argue that, oh, his chin isn't always there. He gets knocked out by the elite level strikers. I don't think Kuniev is that. You go from contending to the title, you go from contending for the title to fighting a debutant in Kuniev. So I think Blades kind of in this position, if I was him, would feel disrespected. I'm pretty sure he does. I think Blades, he has the wrestling, he has the striking. He doesn't always use the wrestling, but I think he's has the experience. He's better, well-rounded than Kuniev. I think he gets it done here. Give me Blades to win. I think he gets it done with inside the distance as well. So I'm gonna go with Blades here. I'm rocking with him. We'll move on to the next card. Main card, we have Mauricio Hufi taking on King Green in the welterweight division. Mauricio Hufi is a part of the Fighting Nerds core four alongside Kyle Barallo, Carlos Prates, and Gene Silva. I really enjoy watching Hufi fight. I think he's an exciting striker. He's fast, but he's facing his toughest test. King Green last time out got submitted by Patty Pimblett. I think he's on a bit of a decline. He has a lot of wear and tear. He has over 50 professional fights. I think, people criticize Hoofy in his last fight because they said, oh, well, he can't go the distance. He looked visibly tired. His cardio isn't there. But you got to remember, he was going up against an individual in James Lontop who was 15 to 20 pounds overweight. And he still looked good. He still put the brakes on him. He still pushed the pace and put the brakes on him. So I think Hoofy gets it done here. This is his toughest test, but I think he's going to look to showcase his ability and show that he's a real threat in the division. So give me Hoofy to win all day. Next up, we have some women strawweight action. We have Yasmin Lucindo taking on the veteran in Amanda Lemos. Now, when you look at Amanda Lemos, she's coming off that loss to Verna Jandiroba. She is a exciting power puncher. She has knockout ability and decent grappling. But then you look at the side of Lucindo. She's an aggressive, high volume striker who's improving on her grappling. She last fought Marina Rodriguez, where it was a split decision, but she looked good. She was able to secure the takedowns. She's striking. She looked good on the feet, and I think we're gonna see a lot of that here. She does train with Verna Jandiroba, who just beat Amanda Lemos. So I'm pretty sure she's going to get some insight into how to win this fight, what needs to be done. She's going to secure the takedown. She's going to take away that knockout ability. The only thing that I have a concern is she can be a little reckless. And when you're going against an individual who's good at striking, who can counter strike, it can leave you vulnerable to getting hit. But I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue here. I think this fight does go the distance, and I think Lucindo's going to be victorious. So give me Lucindo to win all day. Next up, we have Ignacio Bahamondes taking on Jalen Turner. This is another fight where I feel it's a striker's delight. You have two individuals here who are both young. They're pretty much evenly matched up when you look at their size. They're both at 6'3" with a 75.5-inch reach. I think when you look at Jalen Turner, his decision making hasn't always been the best. He's been through a couple of wars, and he's lost to the upper echelon of that division, right? He's lost to the top tier of that division. And you have an individual in Bahamondes who's looking to get up there. And I think he's going to be victorious in this fight. I'm going to go with Bahamondes. I just think he's the better striker. He has he's the more versatile striker. He can incorporate those leg kicks, he can incorporate the combinations. I think his output's a lot better, and he's training with the champ and Bilal Muhammad. So this is his biggest test though, so we'll see what happens. Next up, we have our co-main event in Justin Gaethje taking on Rafael Fiziev. Justin Gaethje was originally supposed to take on Dan Hooker in a 5-round bout, but Dan Hooker hurt his hand. He posted an image where he got cut pretty bad in his knuckle. So in comes in Rafael Fiziev. This is a rematch from their first fight. A lot of people think that Fiziev won that first fight. He took the first and second round and he lost the third round. But, there's two arguments to be had here. One is Justin Gaethje got knocked out in his last fight. Is his chin still there? How's he going to look? Fiziev hasn't fought in about a year and a half or longer. He's coming off a leg surgery. How's he going to look, right? What side are you on? I think Justin Gaethje, who's had the training camp, who's preparing for a 5-round war with Dan Hooker, now fighting an individual who's coming in on short notice. Yeah, he said that he's been in, training, that he's preparing for a fight, but it's very different when you're just training to be conditioned and when you're training for a fight, right? He's coming in on short notice. It is a 3-round fight. I think Justin Gaethje is going to be victorious here because, when you tear your ACL and you have surgery and you come back, that pep in your step slightly changes. It can either go away entirely. So I want to see how his movement is. I want to see how he looks. It's going to be very interesting to see because we haven't seen him since that injury he had to Gamrot. So let's see how he moves. Let's see how he looks. Let's see how he's improved. Let's see what's been going on. I think Gaethje is going to be victorious. The fact that he's an underdog here is a bit disrespectful, but I understand people's argument. Oh, his chin could be gone, but I think Gaethje is going to be victorious here. So give me Justin Gaethje to win all day. Next up, we have our main event. Alex Pereira taking on Magomed Ankalaev. Now, a lot of people tout Ankalaev as being this pressure wrestler who secures multiple takedowns. But when you really look at him and you really dissect his fighting style, he's a long range fighter. He's a rangy striker who does mix in the grappling if need be. And, these fights, they all start standing. So he's going to have to utilize his striking. He's a good enough striker to bang with Alex Pereira, but Alex Pereira is a different beast, right? He has that left hook touch of death. And I think for Ankalaev to be successful, he's going to have to, utilize his striking, set up his takedowns, and control his takedowns, control Pereira on the ground. Is he going to be able to do that for 25 minutes? We're going to find out, right? On Pereira's end, how's his takedown defense going to look up against Ankalaev, right? We've seen Ankalaev struggle with the leg kicks in the past. So for Alex Pereira, I think it's going to be utilizing that range, utilizing that height, really chopping his leg down and then finding that knockout punch, that counter punch that, he's done with many people. He's accustomed to fighting southpaw fighters. He's fought Jamal Hill, he's fought Khalil Roundtree. This isn't new to him. The big threat here, though, is the wrestling. What's going to happen when he gets taken down? What's going to happen when that first takedown is attempted? We're going to find out. We're going to see. A lot of questions are going to be answered, but I'm going to side with the champ here. I think the champ gets it done. I just don't see Ankalaev controlling him for 25 minutes, shooting takedown after takedown, and having the cardio to do so. I think Pereira is going to be victorious as the fight progresses, as Ankalaev gets exhausted and tired. I think Pereira is going to get into that flow state like we saw him up against Khalil Roundtree. So give me Alex Pereira to successfully defend his light heavyweight title. There you have it. That is the quick pick video. Make sure you follow us on X. Make sure you show some love. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, whether you agree, whether you disagree. I won't take it offensive. This is all opinions. At the end of the day, we never know what happens, man. So make sure you follow us. Make sure you show some love. Peace.